Good evening, everyone. It's Professor Chisholm, and we are looking at week 7 already. Wow! Okay, so I just hope that you guys are watching my videos in the sense that I'm gonna globally get this out here. So I keep putting a comment in that you guys need to give you the thought process throughout your whole process book. That's the whole point. And if you didn't know, when we look at this, when you have this small column and then you have a double wide column, it's because the small column is for where you're supposed to write out your thought process. And then over here is where you put your images, either your sketches or your mock-ups or comps or your wireframes, and if it happens to go over multiple pages, so be it. It goes over multiple pages. But this column is supposed to be left blank so that if you have comp 1 and comp 2 here, you go comp 1. Well, for comp 1, I decided that I wanted to try something different, and I thought I'd stagger the whatever it is. And then you'd put down here for comp 2, over here, you'd say, okay, for comp 2, basic modern style, okay? So that's what this whole thing is about. So the whole thing is, because that's going to also give us a glimpse as to your thought process, what you're trying to achieve when we look at your drawings. Because when we look at your drawings, we're going to go, okay, let me try and figure out why they're doing this. Okay, you can alleviate a lot of if you put that in there. Okay, so this column is for your thought process. This column, these two columns are for you to put your images or whatever the assignment asks for. Okay, so with that being said, let's look at what we need to do here. Yeah, that's good English. Okay, now make sure you guys start thinking about the fact that you need to give different viewports. And what do I mean by that? Different viewports are, what do we have? We have computer, iPad, and cell phone. So, because this is supposed to be responsive, so now you're going to hone in onto 3 designs based on feedback. And I know some of you have already in your mind which one you want, but you're going to be working on 3. It says, with wireframes created, begin to craft various layout options should be built on the top 3 picks from last week. Now, some of you guys didn't give me more than 3 picks, so you guys are going to still be working on 3, but this time you're going to expand out the viewports. You're going to give cell phone and iPad what this is going to look like if you were viewing this on those other ones, okay? So your wireframes need to include those additional views, okay? This week we're mainly working in XD. Now remember, so your style guide, okay, so your style guide is going to talk about your font, and it's going to talk about any of your, it's going to talk about the accordion. So this is the style guide, not your process book. Yes, this will be included sort of in your process book, but your style guide is going to show anything that you are going to be utilizing for your project. So what you do is you deconstruct your wireframe and you add the different components to the style guide. So you have an accordion. If you have a carousel, that would go into your style guide. If you have, you can look at, like with your typography, you can look at your different font sizes for your headers compared to copy text. You can look at color, right? We've talked about that. Logo usage. You could put images into your style guide, specific that are copyrighted specific to Bellevue, right? Which would be the building. So that's what you want to do. So you want your style guide's going to be sort of a work in progress, just like your process book is going to be a work in progress, okay? So we're still not doing any coding yet, which you're all going sigh of relief. And yes, I keep promising you to get some stuff done. I have been to the point where I have got a migraine that just won't let up. I went to the doctors today. They changed my medicine for me. If you've ever had a migraine, you will understand. But on top of that, there's an allergy problem, which I had with the medicine. So it sort of put me back a little bit. So I apologize. But I'm seem to be feeling better, and I seem to be getting my head out of the cloudy place it's been, and I'm going to really get to looking at everybody's process books and getting really good feedback for you guys. But again, like I told you about the columns, try to see if you can get your columns, get that thought process into your process book. So go in there, really, presentation is important here, guys. We really want everything to be nice and clean in your process book. Think about your presentations. Think about your style guides. Really work them out. Please reach out to me if you need help. I will be showing you I'm going to do the full process in terms of how to you work with CSS, the Flexbox, so that you guys can see exactly how to work with the grids, the CSS grids, so that you can see it from beginning to end, not Flexbox CSS grids. And I'm also concerned about people's responsives, because some of the responsives didn't work on everybody's browsers. Yet when I did the responsive demo, it worked on all browsers, whereas some of yours did not work on all browsers. And it's really important that you view your websites on as many different browsers as possible. So we need to get to the bottom of why some of your projects did not work on all the browsers, okay? All right, so we're going to iron out some of these details. I promise I will get there. And just please bear with me. And as I said, just I really, some of these projects are really, all the projects they're slowly taking form, and that's okay. We still have a couple weeks of trying to get this in place before we actually start coding. So you still have room. Don't freak out. We'll get everybody, because I want nothing more than for everybody to be successful. Okay, so. And if you need to set up a time with me, let me know. I'm happy to set up a time with you if you need me to walk you through anything. All right? All right, guys, as always, have a productive week. Do great things. I am just an email away. If you need anything, just please reach out to me. And I hope that everyone is staying safe and that everyone's being smart. Okay? All right, guys, have a good night. All right, bye.